Tempe, Arizona, in Sun Devil Stadium, where Texas Tech takes the field. Out of the Big 12, ready to take on Arizona State from the Pac-12. And we say welcome inside. Joe Davis and Brady Quinn. Jenny Taft joins us in just a moment. Both these teams 1-0, beating FCS opponents week 1, so an opportunity with their first real test here in week 2. Patrick Mahomes, starting quarterback for Texas Tech, a guy that is on a lot of people's early season Heisman dark horse radars.
Yeah, he's one of the most prolific passers in college football, but what makes him most dangerous is when he gets outside the pocket. That's because he can throw from either side in whatever body position he needs to, and he's lethal and accurate. So it's really going to be up to the Arizona State defense, whether or not they can bottle him up, and they're going to try to do so by bringing a lot of pressure.
And that has typically, traditionally worked for Todd Graham in this Arizona State defense, but last year was not the case. They were not good. Worst team in the country against the pass. Now, that said, it doesn't all fall on the defense's shoulders tonight.
No, the Arizona State offense is going to try to run the football. They're going to try to limit the amount of possessions Texas Tech gets, try to eat up some of that time of possession, and it really starts with a quarterback, Manny Wilkins, and running backs, DeMario Richard and Kalen Ballage. It'll be a three-pronged attack, and they're going up against the Texas Tech defense that's struggled a bit as well against the run.
Yeah, they were second worst in the country against the run last year, so I guess what we're saying is could be some points in this one. On the field tonight, Jenny Taft.
Well, Joe, what comes to mind when you say Arizona State and Texas Tech? For the Red Raiders, it has to be that fast-paced air raid offense that they do so well. But for the Sun Devils, they burn up field pretty well. Head coach Todd Graham, with him under head coach, over 70% of their scoring drives, well, they've been under 3 minutes. Now, they know they're going to be tested by Patrick Mahomes. I watched him in practice. He was poised. He warmed up a little on his own. But Ahmad Perry said, look, we're ready to be tested. We need to be challenged tonight, guys.
All right, one of the things both teams will be challenged by is the heat. Triple digits, although that's nothing new around here. And Texas Tech back in Lubbock coming off of what was one of the hottest summers on record. Arizona State won the toss. They've elected to receive, so Clayton Hatfield will kick it away. Off we go from Tempe. And this is Tim White, dangerous return man. Getting hemmed in, stepping out of the 22. That's where Arizona State begins. Got a new starting quarterback. They've got one of the nation's most inexperienced O-lines, but they've got a lot of talent at the skill spots.
Yeah, in particular at the running back position. When you got a quarterback with only one start, you got to rely on the running backs in the running game. They rushed for 276 yards last week. They're going to look to get the running game going early, and it's going to be up to Texas Tech's defense, in particular the linebackers. Jordan Brooks in particular, they're looking for him to have a big night and trying to stop Arizona State's run game.
And they were the second worst run defense in the country last season. Wilkins starts with a throw, and it's Jalen Harvey with his first reception of the season. And the first play of the day for Arizona State goes for a first down.
You know, Manny Wilkins was efficient last week, but he really didn't push the ball down the field much. Good to see him already starting off the game in rhythm with confidence.
DeMario Richard, not much room. Andre Pipkins, the Michigan transfer, with the tackle.
And he's exactly what the Texas Tech coaching staff is looking for when they're looking for recruits out of high school. I'm not sure they're ever going to find a guy of his size this ready to play to make an impact, but Pipkins has really shown up the past 2 weeks so far and early on in this game.
6'3", 325 in his first and only season of action in Texas Tech. On second down and 9, Wilkins facing pressure, picked up, so he's got time and he's got rhythm, and he's got N'Keal Harry, the true freshman, for a first down to the 26.
Defensive coordinator David Gibbs for Texas Tech, playing a little bit of a bend but don't break defense, meaning a lot of soft coverage on the outside.
Quickly back on the ball, and Richard surges forward for 6, and it's 2nd and 4. Wilkins out of his hands in a hurry. A stiff arm from Frederick Gamage. And a lunge to get him a first down. On Gamage's first reception of the season. It's first down and 10 from the 16.
And there's that kind of bubble pass out to the wide receiver. It's where Manny Wilkins made a lot of production last week versus Northern Arizona.
Wilkins pulls, makes a move, and cuts it inside the 10. It's their leading rusher last week with 83 yards. He had 4 carries of more than a dozen.
Yeah, and he hurtled over a player as well. You see some of his athleticism, some of his moves. I think Keenan Ward might have left his jockstrap back there on the 15-yard line.
2nd down and 4. Play action. Wilkins in zone. Touchdown, Arizona State. It's Harry.
It's just one-on-one coverage on the outside versus DJ Polite-Gray. You see N'Keal Harry, local product here, 5-star recruit, a huge get for head coach Todd Graham and his staff. Ton of size and ability at 6'4", 220 pounds. He uses that body to help protect the football from the defender.
By many rankings, he's the very top recruit that Todd Graham's brought in here. Extra point from Gonzalez is good. N'Keal Harry out of Chandler, Arizona, caps a 6-play, 43-yard drive, and that fast start you talked about, Brady, supplied right there by the freshman. Manny Wilkins hits N'Keal Harry for the first touchdown of the game, and Arizona State with an efficient drive to get on the board.
Yeah, really opening up the offense as well. We mentioned it, not a pass in last week's first game of the season, a run on every single play of their first drive, immediately getting Manny Wilkins just into a rhythm, throwing the football a little bit more and taking advantage of some of the soft coverage that Texas Tech is allowing on the outside.
And his 2nd career start, won a 3-man battle for the job. Beating out Brady White, beating out Bryce Perkins, who went down with a neck injury early on during camp.
The only other quarterback in the country, besides Tulane or a collegiate team that started a guy who's never thrown a pass coming this year.
How about an aggressive play on special teams here, and they had a shot at it, but it deflects out of bounds. Texas Tech, one of the nation's most prolific offenses year in and year out. 758 yards week 1.
Yeah, well, Patrick Mahomes is going to need a little help from his Mahomies, and that's going to be Steele and Akamano. Both freshman tackles, still a work in progress, but they're going to be the guys that Arizona State's defense is really going to try to pick on, and in part, utilizing a lot of that edge pressure. Arizona State with one of the best defensive ends in the country in JoJo Wicker.
The nation's worst pass defense last year, and Arizona State fans had to roll their eyes week 1 when Northern Arizona threw for 369 from the 47. Mahomes into the flats. Jonathan Giles, a converted quarterback who's really coming along nicely in his convert to receiver.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes had a lot of nice things to say about him, saying it's easy to be on the same page because he's had the same vantage point that I have had. He's played quarterback, so he understands what exactly I want from the routes and how the routes should be run.
Mahomes last week, 6 touchdowns in 2.5 quarters in the 69-17 win against Stephen F. Austin. Arizona State got off to a slow start last week. Not the case with Texas Tech. Dylan Cantrell blown up. Kareem Orr got through the block and dropped him. 3rd down.
What you're going to see on 3rd down from the Arizona State defense, as they're doing exactly what head coach Todd Graham wanted, putting Texas Tech in 3rd and long. You're going to see a mixture of blitzes and then times where they only rush 3. They're going to put 8 guys in coverage.
2nd, 3rd and long. Mahomes and Texas Tech is faced so far. He's got an open man and a 1st down inside the 20. Cameron Batson for 28 yards.
And really that falls on their spur, Tyler Wiley. He's playing in replace of Marcus Ball, who's out until the 2nd half due to suspension. He should have carried the wide receiver up the seam. He didn't. We see maybe some of that inexperience playing out.
So Texas Tech with a fresh set of downs at the 18. Mahomes on an option play, fakes the pitch, lowers the shoulder and gets upended by Armand Perry after a short gain.
Perry was there. Number 4, Karan Crump was there. And Crump's going to be shadowing Mahomes all night long. He's going to be following him around, and anytime he gets an opportunity to green dog, meaning almost a delayed blitz when Mahomes stays in the pocket, he's going to take it.
First career start for him. Big role tonight for the JUCO transfer. On 2nd and 9. Mahomes steps up, has a window, and takes off. It's Crump spying him, running him out of bounds. A few yards short, and it's 3rd down for Texas Tech.
And that's really what made the Texas Tech offense #1 in the country last year on 3rd down conversions. I know that wasn't 3rd down, but it's the running ability of Patrick Mahomes. He's able to put them in better situations, and when nothing's there, he's fast enough and elusive enough to pick up the 1st down.
3rd and 2. Justin Stockton is dropped, and then he stays on his feet, reaches for the goal line. It's 1st and goal. Justin Stockton was dead to rights and somehow kept it alive. And they hustle to the line of scrimmage. It's a boot. Mahomes steps in. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Red Raiders respond at an extra point from a tie game.
And Armand Perry really was in a tough position. He was trying to cover, but at the same time be responsible for Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes so sneaky with the football, but a little fake there, and he's Perry in the dust. I mean, it seems like he just plays at his own pace, and he's so calm and so poised out there in every situation that's thrown his way.
Already his 7th touchdown of the season. The extra point from Clayton Hatfield ties the game at 7. Patrick Mahomes was able to convert along 3rd down and stepped in on a boot play. Texas Tech takes advantage of the short field after Todd Graham goes for the onside kick following the Arizona State touchdown, and 47-yard drive ties the game at 7.
And really, what can you do? Some of those plays that Mahomes made were really improvisation. It's hard to prepare for that and coach for that.
Hatfield's kick. Tim White with a running start. Bounces off tacklers. And the drive will begin to the 21-yard line. Wilkins pulls it. And Keenan Ward, a nice open field tackle from the 3-year starter out of Snyder, Texas. And it's 2nd and 7.
His offensive coordinator, Chip Lindsey, came over from Southern Miss. You know, talking with him this week, really one of the things he wanted Manny Wilkins to do was just take care of the football and continue to build with each game and get better and better.
Wilkins into a tight window and tight coverage from Deshaun Johnson. Wanted his tight end Cody Cole, 3rd down.
Deshaun Johnson may have got there early. It looks like he did. Cody Cole tried to have position, but Johnson got a hand in.
Johnson, honorable mention, all Big 12 last year. Leader of that secondary. 3rd and 7. Wilkins into the short side of the field, and Tim White gets popped out of bounds. Justice Nelson and Keenan Ward all over it. 4th down.
Yeah, that defensive performance last week by Texas Tech, I know it was Stephen F. Austin, but they're playing with so much more confidence and so much more energy.
They gave up 44 points a game last year, one of the worst in the country.
And one of the biggest things over the course of this offseason, they went back to the basics. Practice tackling, fundamentals. They kind of had to start from point 1.
At Hawk's punt, Cameron Batson will let this one fly over his head. And Hawk, one of the best in the country, all the way down inside the 1. 59 yards of perfection from Matt Hawk. And Texas Tech backed into its own end. 7-7 game back here in Tempe for the 2nd time in this 1st quarter. Texas Tech backed into its own end.
And usually you use a hard count if you can. The problem is you're on the road, so they're not going to be able to. Maybe they use a multiple head bob by their center Morales. Try to draw the defense off sides.
And it's snapped off of Mahomes. It's a safety. Mahomes wasn't ready for it. And Arizona State takes a 9-7 lead.
Well, we mentioned they may change up the snap count. Watch number 51, center, Tony Morales. He's going to kind of give a head bob and then pause. What they're trying to do is try to draw the defense offside. He snapped it thinking that the defender had jumped offsides and maybe they get the penalty. Mahomes wasn't ready, didn't see the ball. And there lies the safety for Arizona State's defense.
Well, your mind was in the right place. It's just the execution, not what Texas Tech needed.
And really a perfect scenario when you're going up against Texas Tech and that high-powered offense is you get points by your defense and the ball back.
Hatfield will drill it from the 20, and Arizona State set up to get good field position with Tim White back inside his own 20. And a line drive sends him back inside the 15. The track star gets a head start and dropped at the 35. Here's Ballage again. Look at those white shirts surrounding him. Deshaun Johnson, who was run over by Ballage on the previous play, drops him for a loss.
And this is going to be key. Being able to hold things down on the perimeter and tackle in space. We saw Deshaun Johnson here. We saw Keenan Ward earlier. That's what the Arizona State offense is going to do. They're going to try to put pressure on you to make tackles in space.
On second down and long, Richard gets the block. Demario Richard lowers the shoulder and sets up 3rd and short. Ballage and Richard rotating in and out. 15 yards here, 3rd down and 3.
He's not the biggest running back, only 5'10", but he's 215 pounds, and he can be a bit of a bowling ball when he gets going. We saw a little bit of that right there.
Wilkins to throw. Ballage stopped, and the ball sails over his head.
Well, defensive coordinator David Gibbs doesn't take a whole lot of chances. He did right there. He brought an all-out blitz. We're going to see Tim White, number 12, look at the bottom of the screen, running through the middle of the field, no one on him, beat Justice Nelson. Wilkins didn't see him.
They're going to go on 4th and 3. And now he drops into quick kick depth. And we'll send it away. See if he can do his best Matt Hawk impression. You bet he can. Just like Hawk. The 3rd time Texas Tech starts inside its own 5.
Well, I've had a quick kick a few times in my career, I got to tell you. He's left-footed. Usually that works out better when there's actually a returner there. It's a different spin on the ball, but here puts it up with nice trajectory. Allows his wide receivers to get down there and down the football. Well executed.
How about it?
Better than me, I always kicked it into the end zone.
You just show off the leg.
Yeah, it would be, your net ends up not working out. It was like a 14-yard net for me.
But everybody knows you can drill the ball, right?
Go big or go home, man.
Now, the last time they were back down here, a snap off of Mahomes' leg led to a safety. This time, quickly outside, Devin Lauderdale to give him some breathing room. 3 more with a tackle.
If you had to say there's a favorite target for Patrick Mahomes, it's probably Devin Lauderdale, given his skill set, and he's a guy who's kind of a little attitude to him.
They put 4 receivers into the wide side. Mahomes goes over the middle. It's Batson bouncing off contact with a 1st down across the 20. A.J. Latu stops him after 15. Stockton probes for space and gets 4. Ball came out late. It's 2nd and 6. QT, his first reception. That'll move the chains as he continues to spread it around.
Whether it's QT, right, these other slot wide receivers, there's so many different options, and they rotate them in, and there's really no drop-off in ability.
Here's the option play with QT running his wing. Mahomes runs through a tackle and pinballs his way to the 41. 3rd and 2, or 2nd and 2.
We talked about number 4, Karan Crump, shadowing Mahomes. He's going to be the guy that kind of lays a hit on, but Mahomes just shrugs him off. Gets him within 2nd and 2.
It's a big boy, 6'3", 230. Got a man to jump into the neutral zone. It's a free play. Mahomes knows it. Running free is Derek Willis. And Willis is in for the touchdown. 59 yards for his first career score, taking advantage of the free play.
Offside, number 95, defense. That penalty is a climb. Touchdown.
Well, that's what happens when you get a free play. You try to take an opportunity. Look at the top of your screen on the defensive line. You see the defender jump off sides. Mahomes has all day. There's not really a pass rush. I think it was Gump Hayes who got caught up and looking into the backfield. Maybe thought the play stopped covering downfield.
And that field's extra point puts Texas Tech in front 14-9. Derek Willis, first-year JUCO transfer, recovered from a hand injury, has his first touchdown. Now Derek Willis with a 59-yard touchdown reception. And that's what bit Arizona State time and time again last year, those big pass plays.
But the issue there wasn't any pressure. I mean, usually with Arizona State, they like to bring a lot of pressure. They understand the risk that comes with that, is you usually give up a big play every once in a while on the back end. In that particular time, it was only a 3-man rush. So really not what Todd Graham's looking for from his defense when you've got 8 guys in coverage.
They gave up 16 touchdowns of at least 50 yards last year. That was the most in the country. And that was a 59-yarder right there to put Texas Tech up. White takes an knee, and we go down to Jenny Taft.
Well, Joe, something to keep in mind, traveling west for Texas Tech means a late start time for these guys. Patrick Mahomes has never played in a game so late, 9 p.m. Central Time, if you think about it, for these guys. And he said the hardest part was just keeping himself rested throughout the day and having to wait for it. Coach Kingsbury said he didn't want to change much. He did keep them up a little later last night and let them sleep in. And, guys, that's rare.
Yeah, you don't get to sleep in on game day like that.
Yeah, and it really eats at you all day, the anticipation. A big game, really your first true test. Both teams haven't played FCS opponents.
Mahomes sharp so far, 9 of 9. Remember, that drive started back at the 2-yard line, a 98-yard touchdown drive. Arizona State begins with play action, and it's N'Keal Harry who's got the Arizona State touchdown on a slant for a first down.
It's incredible the contrast between the way Chip Lindsey's called these offensive plays for Arizona State this week as opposed to last week. And really, Northern Arizona was in that ball game until almost the 4th quarter.
Richard on first down for a gain of 5. Yeah, I should bring this first quarter to a close. Pretty entertaining first quarter. Had a lot going on. Some impressive special teams. Some flashes of defense, and like we expected, plenty of offense too. FS1 College Football is presented by Geico, and it's back in a moment. Look who it is, one of the all-time great Texas Tech players, Wes Welker, in the house.
Hey, he must be in town for a horse race or something. Usually he doesn't venture out too far from where he lives in South Florida. See him every once in a while. Former New England Patriot great, Denver Bronco great.
It is Red Raiders with a 14-9 lead as we begin this second quarter. And Arizona State looking at a 2nd and 6. They have thrown the ball much more than I think anybody expected. Harvey lost it. And look at DJ Polite-Brago. There is a flag down back around the line of scrimmage. DJ Polite-Bray, the converted receiver, picks it up and goes 56 yards. Let's see what the call is.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Wow.
Number 5. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's Gary Moore to erase a huge play.
And for a defense that really could use the production and the turnover margin. Clearly a late hit. Looks like it was almost helmet to helmet.
And it was actually Fehoko.
Yeah, Braden Fehoko, number 4. A sophomore. Started every game as a true freshman. Should know better than that.
Oh, a huge call. Instead of first down for Texas Tech around the Arizona State 15. It's first down for Arizona State at the Texas Tech 28. 57-yard difference on that call. Richard on first down with a nice hole for 4. Richard again. This time a seam and a first down up to the 16. Jordan Brooks with a tackle after he gets 8.
Well, we touched on the injury to right tackle Zach Robinson. Bailey moves to right tackle. McCray moves to right guard. They're making some holes over there on the right side of the offensive line.
Going on those final 7 possessions, building off of that momentum. Wilkins trying to get the edge. He is ushered out inside the 5 by Gima. 2nd and goal.
You know, one guy on the Arizona State offense that doesn't get enough credit is number 83, Cody Cole. He's the tight end. They ask him to do a bunch of different things, mostly blocking. So you don't see his name show up in the stat sheet, but tries to cut off Gima. Does enough to allow Wilkins to get around the edge.
Richard and Ballage both in the game for 2nd and goal. A wildcat formation. It's Ballage ready to take the snap. Straight downhill for the Arizona State touchdown. And the lead as we go back and forth in Tempe.
There's Manny Wilkins at the bottom of the screen, forcing the Texas Tech defense to kind of try to figure out what's happening in the backfield. Kalen Ballage, flashes of DJ Foster from just a year ago. They're almost identical in size when you look at the two and really both their capabilities. Nice for the offense to go have a guy that slides right into his absence.
Yeah, that looked a little more like what we thought we'd see from Arizona State tonight, that drive.
Yeah, much more close to, I think, what Chip Lindsey wants out of this offense.
Grinding the ball on the ground. Ballage has a touchdown, and Arizona State has another lead. There is Wilkins, won that 3-man battle for the job, and he's playing well tonight. And he leads Arizona State on that touchdown drive to go up 16-14. Texas Tech's offense back out there. Last time they had it, 98-yard touchdown drive. Mahomes off play action. Dumps off his screen, and it's incomplete. Quentin White, the intended receiver. 2nd and 10. Mahomes' first incompletion on his 10th attempt. On 2nd and 10, pocket collapsing, gets rid of it to Stockton. Makes a couple of men miss. Justin Stockton into the open field. And now he hits the afterburners. Highlight reel touchdown for Stockton from 75 yards.
When really that play was created by Patrick Mahomes buying time in the pocket. Talked about the Arizona State defense dropping more guys in coverage, forcing Mahomes to hold on to the football. He wisely checked it down to Justin Stockton, who really did the rest. Mahomes can't find anything, dumps it down, and then it's all Stockton. The spin move, the speed, the vision.
They call him the Flash. So you knew once he made a couple of men miss and he got in the open field, Game over. 75 yards. Cliff Kingsbury loves it. Texas Tech back in front. 229 total yards for Texas Tech. Justin Stockton with a 75-yard touchdown reception off a screen. And so Patrick Mahomes is now 10 of 11 for 205.
Absolutely ridiculous. But that's pretty typical for him. I mean, he's very, very accurate with the football, and he usually doesn't take too many chances as far as throwing into double coverage or anything like that. He's a very smart quarterback and decision maker. Led the nation in total offense per game last year. In his first year as a full-time starter. Off to a good start this year. Tim White bounce into the outside. And pushed out, crossing the 25-yard line. Manny Wilkins. Here comes DeMario Richard. Cuts it against the grain. Sheds Madison with a stiff arm and turns nothing into something. A gain of 6, 2nd and 4. And really it was the defensive line for Texas Tech that forced Richard to cut it back. And look at the nasty stiff arm. Both these running backs are powerful. And when they get in the open field, they're tough to bring down, not only because of their agility, but their strength. Richard 5'10", 220. And there to block on 2nd down. Wilkins has a wide open Cody Cole, whose first reception of the season goes for 31. Well, they don't utilize him very often, but when they do, they look for him in key and important situations. They're trying to get a play, trying to get something going. As Cody Cole left all alone in the flat. Wilkins has Cole blocking this time. And Wilkins has 8 or 9 on 1st down before Theory Gima brings him down. So 2nd down and a yard for Arizona State, trying to quickly answer Texas Tech's go-ahead touchdown. It's a trick play. They'll flip it back to Wilkins. He's got a wide open man. It works to perfection. It's a Ballage touchdown. 39 yards, trickery, and a score for the Ducks. Just so many things going on right now. You got the handoff to what looked to be with the reverse that was pitched back. Then you find Ballage down the field all by himself. I don't blame the Texas Tech defense. Yeah. I couldn't even keep track of all that. It's the 2nd touchdown for Ballage. 1 running and now 1 receiving. How fun is this game? Arizona State takes a 23-21 lead in Tempe. Well, the kind of play that you don't show week 1 when you're playing an FCS squad gets Arizona State back in front. It's interesting, though. Texas Tech brought out an unbalanced formation where they put Dylan Cantrell, normally a wide receiver, and tackle. And he said he put it on film just to try to force Todd Graham and his staff to stay up at night thinking about all the different things that he could possibly throw out there this week. And that kick sails through the back of the end zone. 4 consecutive drives that have ended in touchdowns for these two teams. Stockton. Calhoun stopped him. 2nd and 8. Yeah, talking with both defensive staffs, you're in the era now where you really can't look to stop any one thing. It's only to contain. And what becomes most pivotal is the red zone offense. And being able to make sure you convert into touchdowns, not field goals. So far, both offenses doing a good job, both defenses not so much. Mahomes scanning that defense. It was a defense that was dead last nationally against the pass last year. 2nd and 8. They bring an extra man. Mahomes scrambles. This is where he's at his best normally. Through behind Batson with Armand Perry closing quickly. 3rd and 8. They brought pressure off the edge. They're continuing to test those Texas Tech offensive tackles. Mahomes able to get outside the pocket. He's a bit more accurate. Put that ball too far on the inside. He's usually lethal on the run. Able to throw from all sorts of different angles. On
3rd and 13. They do rush only 3. Mahomes with a strong arm to the outside, but off the mark. Wanted Reggie Davis, and it's 4th down.
Mahomes looking to Davis on the outside to try to complete a deep comeback route. I got to tell you, I'm biased. I'm a quarterback. Look to your right of screen, number 2. He doesn't come out of his break. Watch the slow transition. You got to run out of your break to get to that football, to be able to make the catch. That's not on Patrick Mahomes. That's on Reggie Davis.
And it's the 3rd consecutive incompletion for Mahomes after he started 10 for 10. Harden on to punt it. He was just able to get it off. It takes an Arizona State bounce, but it hit the sideline, so that bounce is nullified. Tempe. We go down to Jenny Taft.
Well, quarterback Manny Wilkins, is connected to Pat Tillman through the family he lived with for the majority of his high school years, Chris and Christy Casanovas. Well, Wilkins calls them his aunt and uncle, and they knew the Tillmans. Chris played football at Tillman's alma mater, and Christy knew his widow Marie. When Wilkins visited ASU, there was comfort in the familiarity with the program, something that stands out to him.
And look out here as Ballage rumbles his way into the end zone. Touchdown from 50 yards.
The rolling on the field is that the runner stepped out of bounds at the 13-yard line. 1st down, Arizona State.
Let's take another look. See if that right foot steps out.
It did.
You can clearly see it did. What a run.
Man.
Oh my goodness. Just bowling over the Texas Tech secondary. We take another look. Clearly touched the white. Usually you're looking for just a little bit of green in between the two. But oh my gosh.
So 1st down to the 13. DeMario Richard keeps the legs churning for a short gain. Jenkins in there with Colin Hill and Gary Moore. And it's 2nd down. It's good of a 1-2 punch in that backfield as you'll find with Ballage and Richard. Richard a little more of the between the tackles guy. You saw the explosiveness of Ballage. Here's Richard. 1 man to beat. And steps out. Devin Madison made the tackle. We'll see where they spot him. Madison slow getting up. It looks like they're going to spot him a little bit short. So 3rd and less than a yard for the Sun Devils. Richard has a 1st down. 1st and goal, Arizona State.
Arizona State really just controlling the tempo of the game right now. Continuing to churn away on that time of possession, but really running the football effectively and winning the battle up front. The Lions inexperienced, but they have a size advantage, and you wonder if that's going to weigh on the Texas Tech front in the 2nd half.
Back into the Wildcat, went straight downhill with Ballage the last time they were in this formation. They do it again, same result. 3rd touchdown for Kalen Ballage.
We saw them score once again, same exact play. And the problem is, it's hard to stop for Texas Tech because when you've got a running back there at the position where he's receiving the football, the safety, who's all the way back probably 15 yards from where the running back is, he's the only guy who's not accounted for in the blocking scheme. He's got to fight through all that traffic and try to get there in time to stop the running back from getting in the end zone.
Yeah, and then if you get there, you got to stop Kalen Ballage with 6'2", 225 coming downhill at you.
Good luck.
Gonzalez led the nation in touchback percentage a season ago and shows off the leg to let him do that. Here just fall short to the rival Utah. Mahomes starting this drive on the roll to the sideline for Jonathan Giles. And a first down on Giles' second catch. There are over 500 yards of offense in this game combined. Stockton motions out. Mahomes throwing the slant. He and Sadler make that Dylan Cantrell a first down across midfield.
Cantrell back after suffering from a back injury all of 2015. He's a big body target. Usually like to try to give him some opportunities down in the red zone, but there you see him working one-on-one on the backside.
And it is. Mahomes has an open man. This time it's Sadler for a first down. Wide open window with all the pressure the Sun Devils brought.
And that's what makes it so hard with Patrick Mahomes, is trying to keep him from being able to find receivers downfield and buy time.
Draw play. Nowhere to go for Quentin White. P.J. Calhoun led the team in tackles last week and racking them up again tonight. And it's second down.
This is that area of the field where head coach Todd Graham likes to either bring a lot of pressure and drop 8 guys back into coverage.
Stockton back in at running back. He takes the fake. Batson has it. Cameron Batson trying to use a block. Still fighting his way down to the 6. Tremendous effort for the junior out of Oklahoma City, and it's third down.
Batson gets the ball to the outside, but really it was Jonathan Giles. Helping have enough room, setting a good block from the outside. All these guys are unselfish. They realize as much as they pass, they're all going to get the football at one point. So they got to block for each other on the outside. Let's see if Arizona State drops 8.
They do. Mahomes all kinds of time to the goal line. Cantrell reaching in for the touchdown. Dylan Cantrell with a score from 11 yards, and Texas Tech back to within 3.
And boy, they're happy they have Dylan Cantrell back. We talked about his size, where that comes into play in the red zone. Tight windows, tight space, but he had the length and the strength to be able to get the ball across the goal line. Take another look. Strong hands. That's the way offensive coordinator Eric Morris described Dylan Cantrell.
Already nearing 60 points, and we've still got 5 minutes left in this first half.
You got to think, the battle of the two teams right now, this is the type of game Cliff Kingsbury wants to play, not Todd Graham.
Extra point is no good. And in a game like this, you got to remember moments like that. Back in 30 seconds. Well, touchdown for Dylan Cantrell in a 30-27 game because the extra point was missed. Try to keep it away from White, but instead he just gets a running start. Waits to set up his blocks. Now White reversing field to the 26. Inside of 4 minutes in this first half, and a 1st and 10 at the 38. Kalen Ballage, Keenan Ward met him at the line of scrimmage. Able to fight forward for a yard. Colin Hill helping on the stop, and it's 2nd and 9.
Keenan Ward's really showing up tonight. He has been coming down from that safety position, extremely active in the backfield. Besides maybe that one juke move earlier in the game, he's had a heck of a ball game so far.
Say that he's improved a ton as a tackler. Part of that emphasis on live tackling Texas Tech has had this year. Wilkins fires a strike for a first down. N'Keal Harry beating DJ Polite-Bray for 13.
This kid's really going to be something. Now again, you look at him, his measurables, very similar to Jalen Strong, a former ASU wide receiver.
Wilkins keeps, gets a block from Epps, and gets 9. Led the team in rushing last week. Over 30 yards on the ground this week. And on 2nd down and 2, he fakes it to Richard, sets his feet, lets it fly. Incomplete, wanted Cam Smith, and Gima was with him step for step. 3rd and 2.
See Manny Wilkins visibly disappointed himself. Didn't really give Smith an opportunity to get to the football. Usually you throw it out of bounds like that, make you bring in donuts the next day.
Fractured prune donuts around here.
Yeah.
Much slower pace for Arizona State on this drive with the clock where it is, 2:48.
Possibly 4-down territory.
Play action. Cole is open. It's a 1st down. And more for Cody Cole. 1st and goal, Arizona State. 35 yards to the senior tight end.
The senior out of Gilbert, Arizona, coming up big tonight in the passing game. Arizona State offense utilizing the play action pass. And Cole's able to sneak out into the flat on the wheel route.
Same call, same result. A 4-touchdown first half for Kalen Ballage.
Well, this guy's just the entire package. He's got the size, the strength, the speed. Look at the vision. I don't believe that play was supposed to hit that far outside, but we saw all the linebackers and the Texas Tech defenders get sucked up. He knew he had enough speed to get to the edge.
Guy that missed a few games last year early on with a case of mono. They had to ease back. Numbers weren't good the first few games after coming back, but a strong finish. He averaged more than 100 yards per game over his last 4. And off to a great start this season. Reggie Davis back to return this kick from Gonzalez. He rarely gives returners an opportunity. This time, though, Davis had a chance and said, no. They bring 4 this time. Easily picked up. You see the arm strength as he wings it outside to Devin Lauderdale, and another Texas Tech 1st down.
You mentioned they brought Crump. It forced Mahomes to be in an awkward position. Walks as his entire body is kind of open. He just slings it out there. Can't even finish the throw, really.
On the 47. Underneath again, Jonathan Giles. His 4th catch of this first half. 2nd down and 4 inside of a minute and a half. Again, only a 3-man rush, and right now Mahomes picking them apart. Lauderdale's inside the 30.
And at some point, if you're Todd Graham, you got to send a blitz. You got to play some press man-to-man coverage.
Here they come with 5. Mahomes rolling, turning the shoulders. Karan Crump threw him down as he wings the ball out of bounds. And they say that he got rid of it. 2nd and 10.
He's unbelievable. I mean, some of the things he does are so unconventional or unorthodox. You want him to have 2 hands on the football, take better care of it. Most guys would fumble this, but he finds a way to get rid of it. Cliff Kingsbury said, I can't correct him because every time he does something, it ends up paying off.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to limit what makes him him. On 2nd and 10, he's got all day. Underneath is Reggie Davis, crossing the 20, tiptoeing his way inside the 15. 8 in coverage, but nobody within 20 yards of Davis.
Well, it seemed like Mahomes just has all day. Now that's going to change, obviously, as they get closer to the goal line. There's not going to be as much field to work with. That rush, or there will be a blitz coming, one of the two. We'll get to him quicker.
Another quick-moving drive for Texas Tech. Drive started around the 2-minute mark. On 1st down from the 13. Mahomes fakes over the middle. Jonathan Giles, touchdown, Texas Tech. Air raid to perfection as Arizona State sat back and let him march.
Well, with a minute and 2 timeouts, you've still got your whole playbook. So that's why that play action fake is so effective. Arizona State has to respect it, because they can still call a run and then call a timeout and stop the clock. Mahomes wisely pulls it, finds the open wide receiver.
So a 3rd touchdown drive, Brady, in less than 2 minutes tonight.
Status quo.
Yep. And this time Hatfield nails it. Let's go down to Jenny Taft.
Well, Coach, we expected back and forth tonight, but how crucial was that touchdown heading into the break?
That was big. I felt like if we're not hurting ourselves, they're going to have a hard time stopping us. But had the safety, had a couple 3-and-outs, and we got to be better in the second half.
Arizona State's Kalen Ballage, 4 touchdowns in that first half. How do you limit his production?
I don't know. We haven't done a very good job of it. We'll get back in there, talk about it, and try to have an answer second half.
Thanks for your time.
All right, Jenny, quite a first half. 37-34, Arizona State. It's halftime, and right now we send it to Rob Stone in Los Angeles. Well, if this second half is anything like the first half was, this should be a heck of a lot of fun over this final 30 minutes. We welcome you back inside our broadcast booth here in Tempe. Joe Davis and Brady Quinn. Jenny Taft with us tonight as well. Reggie Davis back to return this kick from Gonzalez. And another touchback. We go down to Jenny Taft.
Well, Joe, Coach Graham was very honest with me. He said, look, I am really pleased with what we're doing offensively. I love what our quarterback is doing. I love the communication. I'm seeing the biggest change it needs to be with our defense. He said, we're not communicating. We've had some blown coverage, and they have a good quarterback. We've seen a little bit of being able to confuse him, but overall, we need to be better. I also asked him about Marcus Ball. He was out for that first half, suffering from, well, he was suspended after a targeting call last week, and he said, yeah, we'll see a little bit from Ball in this second half.
Okay, good stuff, Jenny. So they will get back one of the guys that was a starter last week and lost. One of the men they were playing without in the first half. Rolling away from pressure, throwing back against it. Quentin White has room. And a first down across the 45. A.J. Latu with a tackle after 21 yards. And Kalen Ballage headed back towards the locker room.
It's interesting. I mean,
yeah,
didn't have the ball yet.
Right.
Something happened during warm-ups.
Oh, from the 44, here's Stockton. JoJo Wicker grabs a hold of him and pulls him back. They give him 2, 2nd and 8.
The Texas Tech offense isn't going to have much production trying to run up the middle of the Arizona State defense. I think they've stayed away from it, but you got to sprinkle it in to keep them honest and really to make those play action pass fakes effective.
On second down, Mahomes rolling. There is a flag down as Mahomes takes off and runs out of bounds around the 35. Over the flag down back near the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul. Hands in the face. Number 41. Defense. That penalty will be added at the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Only the 4th penalty today on Arizona State, and this is a large one. They bring only 4. Mahomes dancing. Trying to find room. Lets it fly into the end zone. It is caught by Lauderdale. 1st and goal. Tore it away from the defender.
Just unbelievable improvisation by Patrick Mahomes.
Stockton, 2nd effort, gets him in. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Opening drive of the second half, and the Red Raiders are back in front.
Not much here. The Arizona State, this is a tough job to be able to try to stop Stockton, where really just has to be one guy to get across the goal line. And going back to the first half, this is why I would have liked to see Arizona State's offense try to take a chance with that 2-minute drive. You had one timeout, you had about a minute left. Why not give it a chance? Because this is what happens on the back end of it.
Hatfield down the middle. 9 plays, 75 yards, and Texas Tech back in front, 41-37. Lauderdale went up and made a play for him. Mahomes is perfect on that drive and is 28 of 34 for 397 now. They keep it away from Tim White. And so instead it's Kyle Williams bringing it back shy of the 20. Arizona State fans enjoying what they're seeing in Manny Wilkins' second game as a starter. First drive of the second half starts with a throw that Harry goes up the ladder to get.
They might like what they have in Wilkins, but I'm sure they love what they have in Harry as well.
His 5th catch. True freshman has a touchdown tonight as well. From the 35 now. Back-to-back throws for Wilkins. And another first down. This is White inside the 40. All the way down to the 36 on a gain of 29. So Wilkins off to a good start in this second half. Completing his first 2 balls. Quickly into Texas Tech territory. This is Richard. And nowhere to go. Jordan Brooks, a true freshman middle linebacker, shut it down.
Defensive coordinator David Gibbs talked about Jordan Brooks. He said, it's seldom you see a guy that comes from high school and is able to diagnose run plays so quick. So one of the first practices we had him out there, the hole opened up, he saw the guard pull, and he immediately rushed in to crash the play. And he said, it's just seldom you see a guy who has that sort of football instinct.
Second down 11. Texas Tech bringing heat. Wilkins trying to beat it. Down the sideline, it's Harry. And a flag flies. Polite Bray in coverage.
Pass interference. Number 3. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Second time tonight, Polite Bray has interfered with Harry.
He's got his work cut out for him. They put him up in press man-to-man coverage, something we thought Texas Tech would have to do to put an additional defender in the box to help stop the run game. So what does Arizona State do? They say, okay, we're going to take our one-on-one matchup on the outside. We like to kill Harry versus Polite Bray.
First down and goal from the 10 for Arizona State. Wilkins pulls. Reverses course and finds white shirts waiting. Chris Williams on with Colin Hill.
Remember, the last time Arizona State was down here, we saw a heavy dose of Kalen Ballage. Last time we saw him, he went to the locker room.
Yeah.
So a bit curious to see kind of where he's at, where he'll be able to fit in. He's able to make it back.
Richards in there. Ballage
at the bottom of the screen.
Is back after quickly going back into the locker room following halftime. On the slant, Jalen Harvey inside the 5. They've used him a bunch tonight. Deshaun Johnson makes the tackle.
Ballage. You assume they're going to end up running that same Wildcat style play he scored on before a couple times now.
3 times. And it worked on the first try all 3 times. Ballage off the right side. If it ain't broke, why fix it? For the 4th time, straight ahead. For the 5th time, Ballage with a touchdown.
Take another look at that touchdown run. Clearly you can see that's Deshaun Johnson.
How about the night for the junior from Peyton, Colorado? Part of this 1-2 punch in the backfield. Richard has actually carried it twice as many times as he has. But Ballage 4 touchdowns on 7 carries and 1 touchdown on 1 reception. Dane Gonzalez. adds on the extra point. And we continue to see the points rack up on the scoreboard. It's now 44-41, Arizona State. A 5-touchdown night for Kalen Ballage. Yeah, with the face mask that was on the final play there, that's tacked on to the kickoff. So Zane Gonzalez will kick it from midfield. Those 5 touchdowns, by the way, matching a single game record in Arizona State history. A fair catch taken as Gonzalez bloops one down inside the 10. Mahomes trying to make it hurt. Over the middle, it's Quentin White spinning his way free for a first down. 15 yards for Quentin White. A.J. Latu with a tackle. Clock winding down to 6:35 here in the third quarter. In a 44-41 game, Arizona State in front. White with a carry this time to midfield, second down.
You know, you'll see Patrick Mahomes look over to the sidelines. That is where he gets the play, but really, he's got the ability to audible in whatever he wants. Cliff Kingsbury gives him that freedom.
Under pressure, got rid of it, incomplete, feeling that pocket shrinking. 5:56 left to go in the third quarter. Arizona State with a 44-41 lead, and a 3rd down and 7 for Mahomes in Texas Tech. Here comes pressure. Mahomes lets it fly too tall for Batson. And it's 4th down.
Arizona State really turning up the heat. They're going to bring pressure off the edge. It doesn't get there in time, but Patrick Mahomes is starting to kind of feel he's got to get the ball out of his hand quicker than he'd like to. You see DJ Calhoun coming up in unblocked. Clearly, Mahomes starting to get frustrated now. Can't really feel like he can get into a rhythm these past 2 drives to start the half.
Second time Arizona State's forced to punt on this drive. They roughed Michael Barton the first time, and here they give him plenty of room to send away a beauty, spiraling its way into the end zone. Arizona State back on offense, and that means Kalen Ballage, who's tied an Arizona State record tonight with 5 touchdowns and still a quarter plus to play. Talked about all that work they did during the preseason, live tackling in practices. Hard to simulate Kalen Ballage, though.
Yeah.
2nd and 10. Wilkins goes one-on-one and goes back shoulder for the senior Cam Smith against Gima for a first down to midfield.
And actually, they said they went more one-on-ones than Cliff Kingsbury would typically allow for Texas Tech.
Wilkins pumps. Now scans the field. Cutting it back. Still reversing field. Hurdles his way up to the 40. It's becoming Manny's signature. 2 games, 2 highlight reel hurdles.
Unbelievable. They tried to throw a double move. Nothing was there. He scrambles around, and you see him leap over Polite Bray, who's 6 feet, by the way.
Yeah. They just showed the replay again in here, and the crowd just as delighted the second time. Checks it down, and Ballage drops it.
You know, after talking with the coaching staff about the quarterback competition, they kind of mentioned, well, he's a guy who can fix some problems. You know, not all the play calls are going to be perfect. So you need a guy who can fix some issues out there in the field. Manny Wilkins can do that with his legs and clearly his athleticism.
It was funny this week, though. The media asked him about that hurdle, and he said, yeah, probably not going to be doing that again. Coaching staff doesn't like me putting myself out to dry like that. Well, you get in the game and instincts tend to take over, and he did it again. And it worked again. Richard waited for the hole to develop and hit it for 9. 3rd and 1. Malik Jenkins with the stop.
Again, they had an opportunity to get him down the backfield, but just not able to wrap up.
Instead, they swing it to Richard. Here he gives him a block. First down, Arizona State to the 15.
Well, they motion Richard out. No one adjusts from the Texas Tech defense. I mean, no one runs out with him. This is an easy pitch and catch. He's already got leverage on the true freshman, Jordan Brooks.
Richard on the ground this time for a solid first down gain. And these running backs for Arizona State sure do deliver the blows, don't they?
They do. Physical. They've done a good job of taking care of the football, too, tonight.
Picking the tempo up again. Richard short of the mark by a couple of yards. Lonzel Gilmore dropped him. It's 3rd and 2.
Back in comes Ballage. And you're going to see the same exact play. Same Wildcat look. Looks like offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey wants to run it until the Texas Tech defense can stop it.
They've run it 4 times and scored 4 touchdowns. Make it 5! And make it a school record 6 touchdowns tonight for Kalen Ballage.
We talked about how he kept hitting on the right side. Well, they come back with a counter now. Ballage hesitates, waits for his blockers to get there, and really there's no one to even touch. Ballage just waltzes into the end zone.
What a performance. And a school record for Kalen Ballage, his 6th touchdown tonight. Don't go anywhere though, folks, because this one doesn't feel secure at all, does it?
No.
51-41. Plenty more offense coming. I can promise you that. They're going to be so jacked if they're doing the thing where you do a push-up for every point.
That might become dangerous if this game keeps going on the way it has.
Shoulder problems.
Yeah.
Reggie Davis hasn't brought one out against Zane Gonzalez tonight. Led the nation in touchback percentage last year and built a pretty good resume so far this year. Third meeting between Texas Tech and Arizona State. And it rolls to the 4th quarter with 92 points combined. What does the final 15 minutes have in store for us to bring this college football Saturday to an end? We're ready to start the 4th quarter. Justin Stockton with a short gain on first down. And I guess the glass half full way to look at it is as it's an opportunity. Some teams lose a game early and they don't have an opportunity like that to jump back into the discussion.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of parity in college football nowadays. Saw that first week, 3 teams in the top 10. Upset.
12 minutes left. This offense can score in a hurry. 2nd down and 9. Mahomes calmly stepping away, but Crump chases him down. Karan Crump's been spying him all night, and here he gets a sack to make it 3rd and long.
This guy, this time, is going to come off the right side of the offensive line. We talked about those freshman tackles. And that time he's working on Steele, easily gets around Steele. That's really Crump's special. He's a pass rush specialist. He's keying in on Mahomes all night long. Finally got to him.
3rd and 12. Play clock down to 5. ASU bringing pressure. Mahomes throwing. It's picked off, and Gump Hayes inside the 5. First career interception for the converted running back. And it's 1st and goal for Arizona State.
And again, something of a broken record. Arizona State defense brings pressure. Gump Hayes right here. Look at his eyes. He's looking back at the quarterback. He knows Patrick Mahomes has to get the ball out quick because of the pressure. And he wisely is actually able to play the inside wide receiver's route, make the interception for the huge play and possibly the nail in the coffin.
And you think you're going to see Kalen Ballage here maybe? Yep. gets the shoulder down. And 7's the magic number for Ballage tonight. A new Pac-12 record.
They went with the power play the first 2 times. We saw them run the counter for the other touchdown. Now they come back with that same power play. And he beats Jordan Brooks to the pylon. What a night for Kalen Ballage.
Jay Gonzalez on for the extra point. Kalen Ballage stands alone. The only player in conference history with 7 touchdowns in 1 game. A new Pac-12 record. And you want to talk about efficiency? 7 touchdowns on 12 touches.
Common logic would tell you give him the ball more. Yeah, a little more to that.
Saw there he's 1 short of the college football record for touchdowns in a game. He's thrown for 423 and 4 touchdowns, but his first pick of the season led to the latest ASU score. It's a screen, and it's Justin Stockton. Scored on a screen earlier and has a first down crossing the 35. You hold your breath every time he touches it.
He's got that kind of elite speed. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to get him involved much in the running game.
They faked the screen here, wanted to go back to him. Instead, bats in, and if Mahomes had kept him on his feet, that's a big gainer. Instead, it's a dozen.
Yeah, that's a shame because there was a ton of running room. It was a well-designed play. A little misdirection. They slipped Matson back from the backside. No one was covering him.
Here's Stockton with room. And Smallwood bashes him close to the first down. They spot him just short. The Red Raiders on the move. 3 big chunks on 3 plays to start this drive.
Only taking about 40 seconds too on this drive so far.
That's a first down completion to Giles. Giles is hurt.
Don't want to speculate, but to me, at this point in the game, you're a wide receiver for Texas Tech. Might be a cramp.
Have something to do with 100-degree heat.
Cramp it up here myself.
Inside of 10 minutes now. Mahomes perfect on this drive. On 1st and 10. He steps up and takes off. Patrick Mahomes gets a block and gets inside the 10. 1st and goal, Texas Tech on a 28-yard Mahomes run.
And it all started off with the running back, DeMarcus Felton. He really set the block that helped open things up for Mahomes downfield. Reggie Davis as well.
DeMarcus Felton has his 2nd career touchdown, and Texas Tech has exactly the kind of drive they needed to get back in this game.
And how easy is this? Arizona State's defense was bringing an overload blitz. Look at all the guys on the right side of the offensive line. Untouched. Joe, you could run through that hole.
I think our producer, Jeff Gowan, could run through that hole. We'll walk through it. 10-point game. So Felton's touchdown run as Texas Tech back to within 2 scores.
Talked about hydration earlier. Guys cramping up. Looks like offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey. He's hydrating with some Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I don't know that that does the trick.
No, not so much, but he's had a heck of a game. And now I'm curious to see how he's going to go about calling this next series, seeing what Texas Tech just did in about 1 minute and 30 seconds.
They send Ballage back with Tim White back in the locker room with what looked like a lower body injury earlier. He's 1 touchdown shy of the FBS record in a single game. And watches this one bounce. He'll take a knee. Chip Lindsey, an old high school coach. Got his first collegiate coaching opportunity at Troy, which gave Clemson a game earlier today. On the 25-yard line, it's Ballage. And he's got a big hole. He stays on his feet. Kalen Ballage has tied the FBS record with 8 touchdowns in one game. This one's from 75 yards.
I mean, what can you say at this point? Once he breaks through the initial attack, it's just open space and green grass. And we said it before, he's got the total package. He's got the home run speed to be able to make these sorts of big plays. And talk about play selection, well, it's easy. Just hand it off to Kalen Ballage.
Wow. Number 8 for number 7. Just when Texas Tech had crept back into the game, Ballage took off 75 yards.
Should also credit the Arizona State offensive line. They've done their job helping to open up some holes. Ballage's explosion through and just having the vision. It's going to take a lot more than an arm tackle to bring down Ballage, as it's a foot race to the end zone.
Ballage now one of 5 players in FBS history with 8 touchdowns in a game, and there are still 9 minutes left.
Well, and why would you give the ball to anyone else at this point?
I'm kind of with you.
You accomplished 2 goals. You're still running the football. He takes care of it, and he's still got the big play ability. So when you need points, he's there for you as well.
Last time, big Howard Griffith. Illinois against the Salukis. Zane Gonzalez is something. Now there have been 3 touchdowns in the last 8 snaps combined, so don't look away. On the 25, it's Mahomes to throw. On the out, it's Giles. He limped off the last time we saw him. Back in there just fine with a pickup of 8. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. JoJo Wicker got his hand on it. 3rd down.
And check out number 1, JoJo Wicker. He's going to come out from up top. Clearly, once he sees the run action, he's playing his key, and that's Patrick Mahomes. He stays home. He's able to get in the passing lane. Nice play by Wicker.
And the Texas Tech recruited hard, made an official visit to Lubbock. On 3rd and 3. Stockton's not going to get it. Got punished by DJ Calhoun, and it's 4th down.
Oh, and you got to go for it after that. Not a huge fan of the play call. I mean, look, Texas Tech has had the most production throwing the football and really just keeping the ball in Mahomes' hands. Let him run the football if he scrambles and is able to create in some way.
4th down and 2. Texas Tech trying to keep its hopes alive and facing pressure. It's blown, and Batson is free. Cameron Batson is going to take this to the house. Texas Tech refusing to quit. 66-yard touchdown.
Well, and this is just a blown coverage, and this is the issue that you're going to have. Watch as you see Calhoun come off the edge. There's no one to cover Batson. This was an issue that the Arizona State defense had last year when they brought a lot of pressure, as they had blown assignments, in particular in the secondary. Case in point, and you're still allowing Texas Tech to hang around.
That's now 4 touchdowns in the last 12 snaps combined. And most of them have been in that big play variety. So it's going to be back to a 10-point game. Mahomes with his 5th touchdown pass of the game. Batson with his 2nd touchdown reception. 540 through the air for number 5. Well, would be a 7-point game if not for those 2 plays. Here's Kalen Ballage. Hold your breath. They tackled him. And here's DeMario Richard with the hole. And Richard up to the 40. 17 yards, so he's got 87 yards on the ground tonight to go along with Ballage's 133.
When you look at the amount of attempts Ballage has, only 11 rushing attempts. So put that in the context. Richard has 20. So when you watch that long run at the end of a game, you figure maybe he'd be kind of worn down and tired. Not the case. Ballage had plenty of juice. Even Richard, both are fresh for this moment here in the fourth quarter.
7.5 to go. Richard again. This time he's met in the backfield and dropped by Braden Stringer, one of the true freshman linebackers. And it's second down. There's Ballage, averaging 12 yards a carry. 7 touchdowns on 11 attempts on the ground, and then that receiving touchdown.
Look at that.
That's on the ground, by the way. The career mark. Second and 10. Play action. Wilkins throwing, perfectly spotted for a first down. Frederick Gamage beating Justice Nelson.
It was one-on-one in the secondary. No safety help whatsoever. And Gamage just beat Nelson across the field.
Fresh set of downs from the 28. Richard able to get 2 yards after he was contacted in the backfield. And there is the first Texas Tech timeout.
That's what I think has helped make them so productive at running backs. They just continue to keep churning their legs.
Second and 9, and it's Richard. Fehoko grabbed the hold, wouldn't let go. But Richard wouldn't go down. You said it going to break. Neither one of these running backs ever stops pumping those pistons.
No, yeah, and credit them for continuing to keep driving, keep pushing for more yards. And it helps, again, because they're able to share carries, and they're not getting so worn down when you look at some of the other running backs across the country.
They're down in 12. And up to the 25 as we near the 3-minute mark goes Richard. And he's nearing the 100-yard mark on 26 carries. And 95 yards for Richard. Shane Gonzalez on to attempt a 43-yarder. He's 13 field goals shy of the NCAA career record. Make it 12. He's coming for you, Dustin Hopkins.
Might be tough to get that record. When you have Kalen Ballage in the backfield, you're not kicking as many field goals.
That is a good point. So it's a 13-point lead. Let's see if Patrick Mahomes and Texas Tech can capture some magic back at 30. FS1 College Football is presented by Geico. Joe Davis, Brady Quinn, Jenny Taft. Not over yet. 2-score game. Reggie Davis back to return this kick from Gonzalez.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks of college football, we've seen some crazy things happen, in particular today in Stillwater.
And another touchback. On the 25-yard line, out of timeouts. And on first down, Mahomes feeling the pressure. Throwing incomplete behind Dylan Cantrell.
Look, if you're a Texas Tech fan, you still have plenty of time. The clock stopping after a first down, as fast as this team operates, they can get this done.
Gumpay's got him again. Second of the night for Hayes, and that should just about seal it.
Just an ill-advised throw and really a decision. See him pump fake, didn't really like it.
couldn't set his feet, but he does that a number of times. Overthrows Batson badly. And once again, Gump Hayes playing his technique, keeping his eyes in the backfield, is able to capitalize on his second interception of the night.
And so now Arizona State can just run the clock. Richard moves over 100 yards. So a couple of running backs with 100 yards tonight. Ballage at 137, and Richard just barely reaches the 100-yard mark with that 3-yard run there. As good of a 1-2 punch a running back as you'll find.
You know, coming into this game, I don't think there's any question about whether or not Richard and Ballage could run the football. If Arizona State could run the football, I think it was more about Manny Wilkins and whether or not he could push the ball down the field, and I think he showed he's capable of doing it when asked to.
He's thrown for 351, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Richard again, and it's 3rd down and about 3.
If you're Texas Tech and their defensive staff, you're soul searching right now. This is feeling awfully familiar to last year. We're the 2nd worst team in the country against the run.
And 296 on the ground for Arizona State tonight. We'll keep it on the ground here for 3rd and 4. Richard one more time. And it looks like he's a little bit short. You know, last year there were such high expectations for Arizona State coming off back-to-back 10-win seasons. Todd Graham said it was maybe the most talented team that he ever had, and then they disappointed with a 6-7 campaign. Really no buzz around him this year, but here they are, off to a 2-0 start. Game they should win next week against UTSA. That put them at 3-0. They'll be favored against Cal and have a chance to go into that back-to-back week stretch against USC and UCLA 4-0. There were people wondering how good Arizona State was because of how sluggish they were through 3 quarters last week.
Yeah, and look, Northern Arizona is a good FCS team. Case Cookus, he's going to be a good quarterback at that level.
And a 1st down will finish things off for Arizona State as Richard gets a couple more. His 30th carry, and he's going to finish with 109 yards. Here's a bit of trivia for you. This is the 50th game in FBS history where both teams had at least 600 yards of offense.
I think that's a trend that's going to continue. These spread style systems now are taking over college football, and it's getting harder and harder to stop.
And Jenny Taft, before the clock even runs out, has Kalen Ballage.
Kalen, 8 touchdowns tonight on 15 touches. You tie the NCAA record. It seems like a simple question, but what got into you tonight?
It wasn't me. It was God, and it was my offensive lineman. That's really all I can say, man. They blocked their asses off for me tonight, and I ran behind them and got loose a few times.
Did you realize how close you were to the record?
No, I wasn't paying attention to that at all. I want to win a football game. You know, I don't care if I score 1 touchdown or 20. It doesn't matter. As long as we win, I'm fine with it.
And this was a hard-fought battle throughout the entire game, really back and forth. What does this performance say about what we can see from the Sun Devils this season?
We never quit. We never give up. You know, we keep pounding it. And we train for games like this, you know, and that's why we almost have a 5th quarter in us. That's what we like to call it. And we were just ready to play for whatever they brought for us.
What can we expect from you for the rest of the year?
Just to work hard. Just to work hard and be a leader.
Okay, best of luck. Congratulations. Enjoy this.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys?
All right, we appreciate it, Jenny. Appreciate it, Kalen. Quite a performance there.
Unbelievable performance. And you mentioned divine intervention. It sounded like helping to spur his performance tonight, but absolutely incredible. He's going to be fun to watch for the rest of this season and how he then compares to the rest of the Pac-12.
8 touchdowns, matching an FBS record. 7 on the ground and 1 through the air. 68-55, the final score in a game that lived up to its shootout billing. For Jenny and Brady and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long and good night.